Hey everyone, I pray that you're doing well. Here's another installment of Real Talk with Jay. And this subject is one that honestly it has riddled the internet. And that is kingdom marriages. I know a lot of people who probably click this message are believing for a kingdom marriage. You're believing that the Lord will give you your divine spouse, the person that He created for you and has ordained for you to marry. Praise God. I stand with you in believing for that. Amen. But in this group of people that are believing, I believe that there is a group of people who don't fully understand what it is they're believing for. You see, a kingdom marriage is a very different type of marriage. They don't look the way that, let's say, these Instagram marriages look, right? They typically don't feel the same way. And what I'm really getting at is they hit different. How you connect is different. How you interact is different. What you're called to do is different. The obstacles that you will face are different. Okay, honestly, kingdom marriages aren't necessarily for everybody. You have a choice on whether you have a kingdom marriage or not. Lots of people choose to go and marry who they want to marry, right? And then ask the Lord to bless it after the fact. But when we talk about kingdom marriages, we talk about marriages that are joined together solely for the purpose of God. And that is the first, right? That is its first job, is to edify and to uplift the kingdom of God. That is why He's joining you together. Yes, you're going to have, the beautiful kids, the family. You'll be able to post on Instagram. Brothers and sisters, you will. You'll get in your cute little holiday sweaters with all the matching pajamas and all that. Yes, the Lord will give that to you as a part of the package. But you're also going to be given an assignment. You're also going to be given work to do. And it's important that in your season of singleness that you get into the habit of working, that you get into the habit of listening to the voice of God, hearing the voice of God, determining what your assignment is, and then walking into that assignment boldly and completing it. If you have a low completion rate in singleness, that's only going to re-register within your marriage. And the Lord knows that. This is why when you're single, He will train you up. Right? He will train your hands to war. He will train you to do all the things that you need to be able to do within your marriage. That's spiritually and naturally. Right? He will teach you how to build a schedule so that you can accommodate being someone's spouse as well as being a child of God and working within the kingdom of God. All right? So I just wanted to make that clear that a lot of people don't understand what kingdom marriages are. They are believing for a marriage, and that is fine. There's plenty of people in the Bible that were just married, but then the Lord highlights couples that were ordained to be married for a very specific reason, whether that was they were supposed to bring forth an offspring that the Lord was later going to use. They were supposed to create a ministry together. Some of them were supposed to travel together, preaching the word of God. Right? It's important that we realize that when the Lord is using an individual in the Bible and He shows you their spouse, He gave them that spouse for a specific reason. That spouse has the other portion of what you need in order to function and function well. And this is why the word tells us that it is not good for man to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone because if he's alone, it slows the completion of the assignment. It's not about keeping warm or cuddling or being booed up on social media. That is not why the Lord said it wasn't good for man to be alone. But in order for the assignment in which the Lord put you here to be completed, you need a partner that complements what is already in you. Finding that is not something that we can do on our own accord. Because I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, that there's things in you that you don't even know are there. You have gifts that have not even been switched on yet. I'm telling you, the Lord loves us so much that He has packed us full of gifts, of good things some of which we don't know are there, some of which we don't even know how to use. Some of you guys are writers, some of you guys are musicians. You know, some people are artists that you don't even know. You haven't even picked up the paintbrush yet. So when it comes to pairing people together and saying, okay, for however long these two are married, this is what I need accomplished within the kingdom, and they're going to do it together. He has to do that. That's not something that you can do by reading someone's dating profile online. That's not something that you can do by, dating somebody for 10 years and testing the waters, or moving in with them, or, let me just live with them a little bit to see what they're really like. Right? These are not unions that you could put together on your own. And this is why you continuously see a lot of these videos on social media and a lot of even sermons about this subject of a kingdom marriage. It's a kingdom marriage that is joined together by God. It's not something that you can do on your own. What you can do is prepare yourself in your season of singleness to be the mate that the Lord has for the other person. And I can give you an example of this. I have a close friend and she will not mind me sharing any of this, okay? Her husband is called to be a missionary. Okay, he's moving and shaking. He's on the move for the Lord. Bless his soul. She was called to start a travel agency. In her season of singleness, this happened over a decade ago. She was called to start a travel agency, and she did not understand why the Lord had given her this assignment from scratch. It's not something she was ever interested in before. She just didn't get it, but she just blindly followed the Lord. And I hope that you all kind of understand in that example how ironic it was that she would marry this missionary who's constantly moving around, constantly traveling around, constantly putting together missions trips and all like that. Do you see how something that the Lord instructed her to do so perfectly fits in with what her husband needed? If he's boots on the ground, right? Preaching, teaching, organizing fundraisers, right? Bringing the kingdom to people and bringing people to the kingdom. That is what he is out there doing. And the Lord so graciously gives him a wife who is well-versed in planning travels, planning the intricate details of trips, scheduling, all of that. Praise God. That's a very simple example of how following the instructions that God gives you in your season of singleness helps to prepare you for your kingdom marriage. Right? And so I hope that this offers a little bit more explanation on what exactly people mean when they say that I'm waiting on my kingdom marriage. Kingdom marriages also have to do with you accepting the perfect will of God for your life. If you don't accept the perfect will of God for your life, it can be very difficult to accept your kingdom marriage. And here's why. The will of God can tell you, yes, this person that you've been dating for 6 or 7 months, that's the person to marry. That's the one that you should be with. Right? That's your spouse. But the perfect will of God would like to see you complete some things before you actually marry them. So there may be a separation there. There may be a season of separation where you have to separate from this person. So you could have gone ahead on your own accord and you could have been fully within the will of God. I mean, that's the person. The timing's a little bit off. Or you could be in the perfect will of God and marry the right person at the right time. And I said earlier, some people don't want this at all. They just want to marry who they want to marry and they want the Lord to bless it. And I pray that nobody who's listening to this is in that boat, because that can be a very slippery and dark slope to go down. when you start asserting decisions like that, and you're asking the Lord to partner with something after the fact, because sometimes he simply will not partner with it. The Lord will not partner with no mess that he didn't ordain. Let's just get that straight. It don't mean he doesn't love you. He's still in love with you, but he will not partner with any foolery. He will give you a way to either correct or get out of it. Right? So he may soften or harden the heart of either spouse, or he may give you a period of separation. I won't go into all of that because we could literally be here for hours talking about it, right? But just know that if you're in a situation where maybe you got tired of waiting on your kingdom spouse, or you don't really understand what it is you're waiting for, you're just waiting on a spouse, I urge you to go through, right, and ask the Lord to use your season of singleness in a way that is pleasing to him. Okay, there's something that everybody who is in a kingdom marriage successfully to this day have in common, and that's that they accepted the perfect will of God for their life in every aspect, knowing that it may not always look so beautiful, but it'll always be blessed. All right. And I'm going to put some prayer points in the description box. I know that this was kind of a longer message, but this is a really, really loaded topic. It probably will not be the last time that I release something about this. But, the Lord just really put it on my heart that you all needed to understand what this is that you're believing for. There's nothing wrong with believing for it, right? But we want to believe for things that we're aligning our lives to actually receive. That is kind of like me, believing that I'm going to be the first female president. Well, I mean, I'm not even in politics. So you're looking at it like, well, you haven't even done any of the prerequisites needed for this goal that you have. So I'm kind of going to be going back and doing a lot more explaining and sharing about what kingdom marriages are and how you align yourself so that you can be you can walk into them properly, right? You can really get to the season where, yes, I'm expecting this to happen now because I've done X, Y, and Z that the Lord told me to do. And I am now the spouse that my significant other is looking for, right? If you're not the person, and if you don't align with who the Lord told them their spouse was supposed to be, it makes it really hard for them to find you. Makes it really, really, really hard for the Lord to find you. Because we have to remember we're people. And so we're going to interact in a natural sense. So, if the Lord has said to me, your husband is going to be living in South Carolina, right? And he's going to have a ministry in South Carolina, and I'm going to one day call you to move there and run this ministry with him. So if the Lord has told me that in my secret place with him, and I meet a man, and that man is not living in South Carolina, right, has no ministry, I'm going to be like, okay, so sorry, sir. I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. This is not who the Lord said. But what I'm not going to know is perhaps the Lord has been putting it on his heart for years that he needs to move to South Carolina and start a ministry. I'm not going to know that. So then we allow openings when we don't follow the instructions that the Lord gives us for the enemy to come in and sow seeds of confusion. Now I'm over here confused because here's this man talking about I'm his wife, but you don't have any of the things that the Lord has been showing me that you're supposed to have. So I'm going to need to, I'm going to need you to back up. Okay, I don't know you. Nothing has been said about you, sir. Go. This is what happens. And he's going to get defeated, deflated. Lord, you told me that was my wife. What's going on? That's why the Lord is not the author of confusion. So in your singleness, follow the exact instructions that the Lord is giving you. All right? I know that This message is a little bit all over the place. It's also a bit longer than I anticipated it would be, but I pray that there's something in this that resonated with you all, and I pray that you take something away from it, okay? I love you so much. I'm praying for each and every one of my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so that you get these. Leave a comment. If you want a free one-on-one, click on the description box, scroll past the prayer points, and my information is down there where you can go on and schedule an appointment with me, okay? Until next time, be blessed and have a wonderful time in the Lord.